In today's video, I'm going to be painting the Civic using tractor paint out of the electric spray gun. The color we're going is Massey Ferguson Gray. Let's get started on how I did that.
I'ma do this thing my way. Let's go. Been grinding hard on it all day. Okay. We work hard, then we all play.
Alright, so today we're going to be painting this using the single stage paint from Magic. This stuff is really good paint. The reason I'm painting it is this was my wife's car about a year ago. We sold it and got it back, and now we want to change this color. Well, now that it's my car, I'm going to change this color to a smoke gray light color, which is called Massey Ferguson. Basically, I'm going to sand the car down with 320 grit, go over it very thoroughly, because you can see where when we painted before, I didn't even put an effort in on some spots. I'm going to go really good detail, 320 grit all the way around, make it really smooth, and make sure that we get all the curves and edges, because this is what happens when you don't get all the curves and edges. It chips off in spots like that. Door jambs will be painted in another video, but I'll be using the spray can for that, and the door as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take all these side trims off. I won't bore you with that process, but I will do another video showing how to do it. So if you are curious on how to do that, I will put out another video. Now, you don't have to take these side trims off, but if you don't, you could flake around there, so it's best to take them off, but it's not exactly required. Just make sure to take really good time when you're sanding, and you should be fine. But I'm going to go ahead and sand it down, and I'll speed up the process for you so it's not so boring. I will be using the Black & Decker I got from Walmart for about 30 bucks, and it has this little bag on it, and I'll be using 320 grit that I got at Home Depot or Ace, one of those two. They carry the 320 grit for this sander. So that's what I'm going to be using for this, so sit tight. Alright, I wanted to show you because a lot of people have asked. This is what it looked like before I started sanding. This is what it should look like after. It should have a nice smooth feel to it, because if you can feel it, you'll see it in the paint. So if you can feel that, definitely keep going till you can't feel it anymore. A lot of people have asked that, so I figured I would address that right now. But that's basically good enough for this. I mean, it's real smooth all the way through. It has just the right amount of texture and roughness to it that the paint will stick and adhere really well. So I'm going to do that through the whole thing, and it'll be like a second went by for you guys, but I'll continue doing what I'm doing. Alright, next thing you do is get yourself some primer and prime over these bare metal spots. Self-etching primer is the best stuff to use. Doesn't really matter brand, just as long as it's good self-etching primer. Now that I went and self-etch primed over all the bare metal exposed spots, I'm going to sand the rest of it, but for you guys it'll just be like, there it is, all sanded, spot primed, all the door trims removed. I sanded really well in all these areas around the doors, around the door handles. Took out tail lights and this plastic piece here. I think I'm going to paint this plastic piece that goes right here for the license plate. All the door trims, the mirrors, and the side skirts are going to go black because the front lip will be black, and then we'll get a rear lip that'll be black. Right here we had push button releases for the bumper, so I'm going to have to get new ones because they were trash, but I'll just bolt it up normal until then, so this will just be a big gaping hole. But now I'm going to tape up all the windows, basically just using the tape around all the seals here. Now it's ideal to pull all these seals out, because if you look right here, you can see the silver that the car was before. But we're going to tape these up really well. I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera to save you guys a lot of time, so you don't have to skip around my video. But after that's done, we'll wait for the sun to go down to where it's not beating right on the car. We'll wait for this house right here, we'll block the sun, And once that's happening, we'll wet the ground around the car, just a light mist, so that way that nothing dirt-wise kicks up. And then we'll mix the paint and get ready to actually shoot it. So I'm gonna tape that up and then we'll wait for the sun to go down. All right, so I'm gonna show you how to do this part. It's really simple instructions. One of these and one of these to an entire gallon of this. Well, I'm only gonna use half a gallon, which is 2 quarts. So I'm gonna use half of this and half of this. I have this big paint mixing thing. You're gonna need some of those micro straining filters. I got this to mix up the paint. It just goes in on the drill attachment, mixes it all up. Then we're gonna fill this up and we're gonna put a bag over this so nothing gets in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started doing this. This is basically the clear coat for single stage. That's basically what I call it, at least. So now we got half and half and half. Now we're gonna mix it up with the stir stick. Got this at Walmart for a couple bucks. Now that we've got that, I'm gonna go ahead and pour some into this. All right, so what you're about to see, I didn't use the filters like I had said I was going to, so learn from my mistake and definitely use these filters. In case you didn't know, I'm using the Kraus & Becker from Harbor Freight. This was a $20 electric spray gun. The wind is blowing, but I wet the ground already, so now I'm gonna go and tack cloth the car and then we're gonna spray. All right, don't be an idiot like me and paint when people are out mowing. You might get garbage in your paint. I'm gonna hope that it's not going to, but if it does, we'll just wet sand it out. It's also very windy out. All right, so now I gotta refill it. Got to fill it up one more time and then we'll be done. there it is. It's on pretty thick. Unfortunately, I got some runs I've got to figure out how to get out. But, you know, it's my first time using the electric sprayer on an entire vehicle. As you can see, it looks really good other than the couple runs that it has. The roof was a little bit harder because the wind's coming over the top and trying to dry it, but that orange peel will definitely be able to be wet sanded and buffed out. And that's what it looks like. Now obviously I have to let it harden up and cure, which shouldn't take too terribly long because it is a warm day. And the hardener's in it, so that helps a lot. Like I said, we'll do door jambs in another video. I'm not gonna try to mess with it in this one, but let me show you how decent it actually looks. I mean, a lot of people will think that's a lot of orange peel, but this will go down a little bit as it dries. And then we can wet sand and buff in another video. But before I finish this video, I am going to show you what it looks like with everything back on it. So sit tight. All right, so I painted these last night with the spray can. I'll put a video right here. I didn't get video of this part, but this grill comes apart with screws in the back. I took this piece here off. The gray was chrome, sanded it down, painted it gray, and then painted this in here black. Also did the Honda emblem, the gray. So that'll all go on after the car's painted. Now we have these over here, which is the mirrors, the pieces that go under the tail lights, and then the side skirts. The side skirts will be going gloss black, and these will be going the gray. All right, so I've sanded and prepped these with 320 grit. This paint is such a perfect match that you won't notice the difference between the spray can and the gun. What's great about it is this actually has less orange peel, so these will actually look a lot better. I'm gonna do this paint to the mirrors, the license plate holder, and these right here. So I'm gonna show you that. Now make sure the wind's not blowing when you paint, guys, because that's one of the issues I'm facing right now. I'm gonna hang these up to dry, move them out of the way, and paint the rest of the stuff I have to paint. Alright, so here it is. I put back together last night. I've got a total of 10 hours wrapped up in this, but that's only because I was taking everything off, like the mirrors and such. But you can leave all that stuff on. I just figured it'd be a little cleaner if I took it off and did it the way I did it. So it does have a few runs, which is not a big deal. We'll use the razor blade method to get them out. As you can see right here, this is a pretty big one. There's one right here. And right here. So I will have some work to do. But like I said, my first time painting an entire vehicle using the electric spray gun. But it came out beautiful. It will need wet sanded. The orange peel's not as bad as what it was whenever it was wet. But it still does have some orange peel. And there's spots in here where it laid so smooth and leveled out really well. But yeah, so this is the pretty interesting part, is remember I was using the spray can? These mirrors are spray can painted, okay? And this is out of the gun. If we go back here, you can see this is spray can painted, and this one was the spray gun. Orange peel on the spray gun side is pretty decent orange peel, and the spray can side very minimal. So if you're gonna do this, you can choose to do the spray gun method, which works absolutely great. You just have a little bit more wet sanding to do. The spray can method, you will have less orange peel, but you won't have the hardener in it. So just giving you some options here, but either way, I think it looks really good. So I will be doing the door jambs in another video and the wet sanding and buffing, but I wanted to show you the door jambs are not yet painted, and I'm going to put all this back on, and then in that video I'll show you how to remove all the door panels and stuff. But you can still see that there's places that has the light turquoise color. Well, there it is, all put back together, and it's looking pretty good. It has more of a gray tan color to it, and I think it looks really good. I was expecting a smoke gray, more of a smoke gray, but I kind of like this. It's more like a smoke gray meets a desert tan. For some reason I like that a lot. These are the wheels I got for free. Someone dropped them off at my house, so we checked security cameras, and it ended up being a guy down the street with the Civic. Said he just didn't want them anymore and thought I could use them, so I really appreciate that. If you're watching my channel, I really appreciate that. I still have to get some of those push buttons for the bumper so that I can fill that gaping hole. But so I guess what I take from all this is my recommendation would be when using the electric sprayer, at least thin it out just a little bit more. You'll get even less orange peel, and lay the coats on lighter. I was rushing because I wouldn't have much daylight. I didn't realize it would be that fast to get done. So take your time, don't rush it, don't be a noob like me. So if you guys liked the video, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. Drop me a comment below if you made it this far into the video. Like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.